Smooth, yeah.
Smooth rhythm on an empty avenue.
Let the calm entirely surround you. Only doing what I truly wanna do. Step out the door into the quiet early light. Keep my vision perfectly and absolutely bright. People always rush around and chase an empty prize. I just watch the morning sun completely start to rise. Got my own direction and my own specific speed. No unnecessary pressure that I truly need. A lot of loud talkers try to pull me off the track. I just nod my head and gently turn my shoulder back. Used to worry all the time about the public view. Now I completely focus on a smaller quiet crew. Don't need a heavy trophy or a shiny massive crown. I just appreciate the silence of this empty town. The engine hums perfectly inside the beating car. Not trying to reach the orbit of a distant star. Found a solid balance that feels perfectly okay. Washing all the totally useless drama far away. Step by step I take it totally and completely slow. Enjoy the calm environment and let the rhythm flow. I just stay in my lane and take a quiet ride. With the peaceful energy completely by my side. No chaotic rushing, absolutely no blind chase. Moving forward steadily in my own perfect pace. Let the noisy crowd go exactly where they please. I just catch the comfort of the gentle midnight breeze. I stay in my lane and let the heavy troubles fade. Sitting cool and collected underneath the silent shade. Sometimes the world gets heavy with a lot of fake noise. I just step away and protect my quiet joys. Put the phone on silent and throw it on the bed. Clear the heavy static buzzing softly in my head. The rain taps gently against the cold window glass. I watch every single heavy minute softly pass. Ain't got no schedule and absolutely no strict plan. Just living like a totally calm and steady man. Some folks constantly complain about the sudden shift. I just catch the current and totally let it drift. No need to overcomplicate a very simple thing. Listen to the melody the universe can sing. Built a solid fortress with a very quiet wall, where the heavy problems totally have no space to fall. I pour a warm cup and let the flavor hit the tongue. Appreciate the songs that I have already sung. Keep the circle small and the expectations very low. That is absolutely exactly how I like to go. I just stay in my lane and take a quiet ride. With the peaceful energy completely by my side. No chaotic rushing, absolutely no blind chase. Moving forward steadily in my own perfect pace. Let the noisy crowd go exactly where they please. I just catch the comfort of the gentle midnight breeze. I stay in my lane, let the heavy troubles fade. Sitting cool and collected underneath the silent shade. Keep the volume low and the vision clear. Absolutely nothing left for you to fear. Take it easy completely through the year. Cruising down the empty avenue, underneath the glowing electric blue. Nothing else we really gotta do. Yeah. Rolling through the district in the late night glow, keeping up a tempo that is nice and slow. Looking at the denim that is torn and ripped, watching how the coffee in the cup is sipped. Got the lid to ink up on your resting hand, vibing to a rhythm that we understand. Dashboard is illuminating sea blue thread, washing out the noises inside my head. Cherry on the paper burning ruby red, leaving all the complicated words unsaid. Had this pulled down low to block the flashing sign. Driving on the border of the center line, looking at the windshield like a movie screen. Cleanest cinematic that I have ever seen. We don't need a destination on the map, escaping from the middle of the daily trap. Everything is flowing like a tidal wave, finding all the energy we try to save. Neon burn cruise on the asphalt street, moving to the feeling of the steady beat. Window rolling down to let the breezes blow. Nowhere in the county that we need to go, letting all all the tension from the muscle slide, taking in the beauty of the midnight ride. Just a couple strangers in the metal shell, doing absolutely naturally and well. Oh, not a single phone is taking up the space, living in the pocket of the human race. Chained upon the chest is catching yellow gleam, waking in the middle of a city dream. Putting all the drama in the rear view glass, watching all the corners in the buildings pass. A couple conversations getting really deep, fighting off the feeling of the coming sleep. The bass is hitting perfect in the speaker cone, feeling like a king upon a leather throne. You give a little chocolate at the passing Joe, blowing out a cylinder of greenish smoke. The avenue is open and the traffic gone, we can keep it moving till the early dawn. Nothing artificial in the way we act, dealing with the present and the honest fact. The tire rubber humming on the solid ground, lost inside the magic of the urban sound. Neon burn cruise on the asphalt street, moving to the feeling of the steady beat. Window rolling down to let the breezes blow, nowhere in the county that we need to go. Letting all the tension from the muscles slide, taking in the beauty of the midnight ride. Just a couple strangers in a metal shell, doing absolutely naturally and well. Keep the rubber rolling on the solid lane, washing off the residue of daily drain, fading in the colors of the neon rain. Watching how the heavy needle drop, hoping that the record never stops, letting all the daily pressure pop. Yeah. Sitting in the corner of the leather chair, running fingers through the quiet air. Nothing in the universe I gotta share. I leave the modern trouble at the wooden door, not looking for a complicated human war. The tungsten is a heavily comforting glow, taking all the thinking to a tempo slow. A glass of heavy bourbon resting on the wood, feeling disconnected like I know I should. The speaker has a heavily comforting hiss, a solitary moment of an absolute bliss. I don't have a message or a glowing screen, happy to be missing from the social scene. The pendulum is hanging with the frozen grace, moving at an undeniably forgotten pace. The anonymity is like a heavy drain, giving me the permission not to even think. Needle dropping on a dusty groove, having absolutely nothing left to prove. I'm a quiet phantom in the faded lounge, nothing in the pocket that I got to scrounge it. Needle dropping on a dusty groove, having absolutely nothing left to prove. I'm a quiet phantom in the faded lounge, nothing in the pocket that I got to scrounge. Yeah. The horn is gently weeping in the background space, putting every complicated worry in its place. I watch a little vapor from the ashtray rise underneath the cover but the midnight skies. I'm comfortable with being completely out of touch, knowing that the world is demanding too much. I wrap the heavy silence like a heavy coat, listening to it heavy in a lonely note. The rhythm is a heavily repeating cycle, ignoring all the drama of the daily spiral. A solitary kingdom built of smoke and brass, watching how the heavy midnight shadows pass. I don't need a single validation here, keeping every complicated thought very clear. The isolation is a heavily soothing balm, bringing on an undeniably steady calm. I sink a little deeper in the heavy sea, retreating from the middle of the heavy street. Needle dropping on a dusty groove, having absolutely nothing left to prove. I'm a quiet phantom in the faded lounge, nothing in the pocket that I got to scrounge. Yeah. Needle dropping on a dusty groove, having absolutely nothing left to prove. I'm a quiet phantom in the faded lounge, nothing in the pocket that I got to scrounge. Fading in the shadow of the horn, waiting for the quiet of the morn, leaving all the heavy trouble torn. through the fog upon the glass, watching all the heavy hours pass, sitting on the sofa in the mess. The window fogged up, but the mind is clear. In a room of smoke, I can see what's near. Let the heavy world run completely wild, breathing in the quiet of a lonely child, sipping on the stillness in the hidden space, moving at an undeniably forgotten pace. A worn out hoodie and the couch that hugs, living in the system without any bugs. The mind is on a heavily relaxing pause, stepping out the middle of the human laws. I don't have a complicated map to read, having absolutely everything I need. The isolation is a heavily constructed shield, making all the complicated panic yield. Every single breath is a quiet prayer, finding my rhythm in the velvet air. Peace inside the haze, flowing like a leaf, washing out the memory of the heavy grief. I don't need a direction or a proper face, comfortable floating in the quiet space. Peace inside the haze, flowing like a leaf, washing out the memory of the heavy grief. I don't need a direction or a proper face, comfortable floating in the quiet space. Television muted on a faded screen, living in a solitary quiet scene. The oxygen is heavy with the sweet perfume, hiding in the corner of the faded room. The universe is spinning in a frantic rush. I am sitting softly in the heavy hush, nothing in the pocket but a simple lighter, making all the heavy shadows a little brighter. The anonymity is running very deep, while the population falls fast asleep. No one asking questions in the smoky zone, happy to be sitting in the dark alone. The static of the city is a distant hum, waiting for the beautifully silent days to come. I let the heavy fabric completely enfold stories of the underground I never told. Peace inside the haze, flowing like a leaf, washing out the memory of the heavy grief. I don't need a direction or a proper face, comfortable floating in the quiet space. Peace inside the haze, flowing like a leaf, washing out the memory of the heavy grief. I don't need a direction or a proper face, comfortable floating in the quiet space. Fading in the middle of the velvet haze, walking through the quiet of the empty maze, counting all the beautifully silent days. Watching how the heavy ceiling spin, letting all the quiet heavy moments in, living comfortably inside the heavy skin. Yeah. Sitting in the corner of a faded room, comfortable hiding in the heavy gloom. The record spinning with the heavy slow rotation, stepping completely out of the heavy nation. I watch the heavy vapor turning into rings, ignoring all the heavy complicated things. The isolation is a heavily constructed art, protecting every heavy piece of the quiet heart. The shadows dancing on the heavily painted wall, answering to absolutely zero heavy call. I don't have a schedule or a heavy day, comfortable living in a hollow heavy state. The anonymity is running very deep, while the entire city falls into a heavy sleep. A solitary rhythm in the heavy dragging feet, escaping from the panic of the heavy crowded street. Faded hours rolling through the day, smoke curls up and softly drifts away. I don't have a map or a heavy plan, just a solitary, quiet, and forgotten man. Faded hours rolling through the days, smoke curls up and softly drifts away. I don't have a map or a heavy plan, just a solitary, quiet, and forgotten man. The television muted on a heavily faded screen, missing from the middle of the heavy social scene. I wrap the heavy silence like a heavy winter coat, listening to a heavily and quiet lonely note. The oxygen is heavy with the heavily sweet perfume, hiding in the corner of the faded heavily room. I let the heavy oxygen fill the quiet lung, listening to a heavy quiet song never sung. No one asking questions in the silent heavily zone, happy to be sitting in the heavy dark alone. The static of the city is a distant heavily hum, waiting for the beautifully silent heavily days to come. I don't need a single heavily validation here, keeping every complicated heavy thought very clear. The freedom is a beautifully quiet heavy sound, with absolutely zero heavy people hanging around. Faded hours rolling through the day, smoke curls up and it softly drifts away. I don't have a map or a heavy plan, just a solitary quiet and forgotten man. Faded hours rolling through the day, slowly curls up and softly drifts away. I don't have a map or a heavy plan, just a solitary quiet and forgotten man. Letting all the heavy faded hours blur, quiet as the heavily silent purr, leaving absolutely nothing to heavily occur. Watching how the heavy vapors spin, letting all the quiet heavy moments in, living comfortably inside the heavy skin. Yeah. Sitting in the corner of a faded room, comfortable hiding in the heavy gloom. The record spinning with the heavy slow rotation, stepping completely out of the heavy nation. I watch the heavy vapor turning into rings, ignoring all the heavy complicated things. The isolation is a heavily constructed art, protecting every heavy piece of the quiet heart. The shadows dancing on the heavily painted wall, answering the absolutely zero heavy call. I don't have a schedule or a heavy date, comfortable living in a hollow heavy state. The anonymity is running very deep, while the entire city falls into a heavy sleep. A solitary rhythm in the heavy dragging feet, escaping from the panic of the heavy crowded street. Slow burn Sunday, drifting real wide, smoke in the air and the moon on my side. Ain't chasing nothing, I'm just getting by. Life in the rear view, kissing the sky. Slow burn Sunday, drifting real wide, smoke in the air and the moon on my side. Ain't chasing nothing, I'm just getting by. Life in the rear view, kissing the sky. The television muted on a heavily faded screen, missing from the middle of the heavy social scene. I wrap the heavy silence like a heavy winter coat, listening to a heavily and quiet lonely note. The oxygen is heavy with the heavily sweet perfume, hiding in the corner of the faded heavily room. I let the heavy oxygen fill the quiet lung, listening to a heavy quiet song never sung. No one asking questions in the silent heavily zone, happy to be sitting in the heavy dark alone. The static of the city is a distant heavily hum, waiting for the beautifully silent heavily days to come. I don't need a single heavily validation here, keeping every complicated heavy thought very clear. The freedom is a beautifully quiet heavy sound, with absolutely zero heavy people hanging around. Yeah. Slow burn Sunday, drifting real wide, smoke in the air and the moon on my side. Ain't chasing nothing, I'm just getting by. Life in the rear view, kissing the sky. Slow burn Sunday, drifting real wide, smoke in the air and the moon on my side. Ain't chasing nothing, I'm just getting by. Life in the rear view, kissing the sky. Faded hours blur, quiet as the heavily silent purr, leaving absolutely nothing to heavily occur. Turn the city down a little bit. Just me and the dashboard light. Let the mind settle in. Breathe it out. Stopped at the corner, 2 a.m. on the dash, watching the raindrops turn to a flash. World keeps spinning, moving way too fast, wondering how long this silence gonna last. Screen glowing bright with the latest news. Everybody fighting, everybody got the blues. Scrolling through the lives, looking for the clues. Nothing but static, changing up the views. Feet dragging heavy on this late night drive. So feeling empty, just trying to survive. Neon signs buzzing, keeping me alive. Escaping the hive, taking a deep dive. Broken trends fading in the rear view glass. Watching the shadows slowly walk past. Drop the window down, let the breeze flow free. Just a quiet night, the engine and me. Red light glowing, reflecting in my eyes. Searching for the truth underneath the midnight skies. Oh, red light, reflections hit in my mind. Word is so loud, but I hit rewind. Finding the peace that I needed to find. Leaving the stress and the burdens behind. Homegrown vibes in the cool night air. Floating away from the doubt and the fear. Hold on to the moment, perfectly clear. No need to rush, I am already here. Fingers on the leather, gripping the wheel tight. Coffee on my lips, tasting bitter in the night. She's sitting on the right, bathed in the street light. Quiet little sighs, making everything alright. Hear the engine rumble, vibrating through the seat. Raindrops tapping out the slow, steady beat. Heater blowing warm, comfort in the feet. Rolling down the block in empty city streets. Smell of the pavement after a quick rain. Washing away all the pressure and the pain. Lo-fi humming, easing up the brain. Cruising in my lane, breaking off the chain. No more notifications, buzzing on the phone. In this little spaceship, we are in the zone. Just a deep breath, chill into the bone. A pocket of peace that we can call our own. The red turns to green, glowing in the dark. Hitting the gas, leaving a new mark. Red light, reflections hit in my mind. World is so loud, but I hit rewind. Finding the peace that I needed to find. Leaving the stress and the burdens behind. Homegrown vibes in the cool night air. Floating away from the doubt and the fear. Hold on to the moment, perfectly clear. No need to rush, I am already here. Keep those eyes clear. Nothing but the truth out here. Let the city lights fade away. We gonna see another day. Just breathe. We on. Yeah. Just let the heavy world drop away. We don't really need no words to say. Clock is hitting 10:30. The street is moving slow. Nowhere that we need to be, nowhere we gotta go. Feet were dragging all damn day. My soul is feeling light. Trying to escape the maze, just slipping through the night. Leather jacket on my back, it's heavy with the weight. Tattoos catching silver moon, we bending every fate. Rolling up the window glass, the engine humming deep. Leaving all the concrete blocks where all the zombies sleep. Silence sitting in the cab, but nothing feels too cold. Every minute passing by is better than the gold. Looking at the dashboard lights, they glowing softly green. Riding past the boulevard, the quietest I've seen. Both of us are running far from something we can't name. Playing through the daily grind, a never-ending game. But up here the air is crisp, the pressure starts to fade. Sitting in the midnight breeze, inside the calming shade. Didn't have to speak a word, you understood the vibe. Just another broken soul from exactly the same tribe. Purple haze upon the hilltop, city down below. Neither one of us is rushing, neither wants to go. Finding peace inside the shadows, homegrown kinda high. Watching all the neon flashes blending with the sky. Yeah, we finally breathing easy, letting out the pain. Washing off the heavy dust like sudden summer rain. Purple haze upon the hilltop, floating on the breeze. Nothing but the quiet moments, putting us at ease. Yeah. Putting us at ease. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Challengers parked in park, just just resting by the trees, feeling every sudden drop of the midnight cooling breeze. Purple smoke is rising up and mixing with the stars, listening to distant beats from passing empty cars. Taste the whiskey on the lips, a flavor sweet and slow. Looking at the grid of lights that make the valley glow. City spread below us now, just like a movie screen. Watching all the tiny dots, the strangest ever seen. Flicking of the light a wheel, the spark is jumping bright. Hand is resting on the dash, absorbing all the night. Music playing soft and low, a frequency so deep, wrapping us in heavy warmth, making the senses sleep. Close my eyes and feel the bass vibrating through the seat, leaving all the busy thoughts out on the empty street. Time is moving close to 3, the dawn is miles away. Wishing that this velvet dark could permanently stay. Solitude is shared between two people in the haze, getting lost inside the chill, escaping from the maze. Purple haze upon a hilltop, city down below. Neither one of us is rushing, neither wants to go. Finding peace inside the shadows, homegrown kinda high. Watching all the neon flashes blending with the sky. Yeah, we finally breathing easy, letting out the pain, washing out the heavy dust like sudden summer rain. Purple haze upon a hilltop, floating on the breeze. Nothing but the quiet moments, putting us at ease. Yeah, just leaving it all behind. No words, just the smoke on my mind. City sleeping down below, we never going back. Yeah, yeah, we just letting the ash fall, staring right through the faded wall, taking a breath before the break of dawn, watching the shadows stretching out on the lawn. Yeah, yeah. Rolling down the window to feel the frozen breeze, listening to the rustle of the empty winter trees. Thinking about the bags that we drag across the floor, locking up the secrets behind a heavy iron door. Some of us are holding on to words we never said, replaying no mistakes while we lying in the bed. You see a smiling face, but you never know the cost. Navigating through a city where the lonely ones are lost, working for the dollar just to pay the monthly rent, wondering where all of the golden years went. Fathers passing down all the anger and the blood, mothers hiding tears in the middle of the flood. It is just a quiet battle in a crowded public space, everybody running in a never-ending race. I just took a drag and I let the vapor rise, looking at the truth in the stranger passing eyes. We all got a history that we're trying to erase, searching for a shelter in a cold and hollow place. The things we carry quiet in the middle of the night, hidden from the glow of the morning yellow light. Some of it is heavy and some of it is frail, blowing in the wind like a torn and tattered sail. We just gotta breathe and let the burden softly drop, finding us a moment at the corner, lick it stop, washing off the sorrow in the falling summer rain, letting go of anger and releasing all the pain. Yeah, flicking off the lighter with a callus on my thumb, taking in the warmth when the fingers feeling numb, hearing distant sirens wailing down the avenue, sipping on the liquor with a golden amber hue. Smell of burning cedar floating slowly in the room, sweeping out the ashes with an old and dusty broom, tapping on the steering wheel, feeling leather skin, waiting for the healing of the spirit to begin. Water droplets tapping on the faded window glass, watching every second of the fleeting minute pass. Taste a bit of sugar at the bottom of the cup, keeping my chin steady and always looking up, dropping down a needle on a scratching vinyl plate, learning how to carry all this heavy unseen weight, feeling like a ghost walking through the neighborhood, nodding to the homies cause the energy's good, lighting up the dark with a single little spark, leaving all the shadows in the corner of the park. The things we carry quiet in the middle of the night, hidden from the glow of the morning yellow light. Some of it is heavy and some of it is frail, blowing in the wind like a torn and tattered sail. We just gotta breathe and let the burden softly drop, finding us a moment at the corner, lick a stop, washing off the sorrow in the falling summer rain, letting go of anger and releasing all the pain. Just gonna leave it right here on the curb, watching the smoke drift away undisturbed, nothing but the quiet settling in the soul, finally feeling like the spirit is whole. Yeah, you're gonna be alright in the end. Looking at the nothingness below, feeling all the heavy pressure go, living in the pocket of the flow. No shoes and no plan and no pressure to speak. The mind is half lit and the vibe is on peak. The curtains are swaying in slow motion time. I'm putting my thoughts in the mellow and rhyme. I'm moving through days like a wave in the sea, accepting exactly who I gotta be. The world is outside with the heavy demand, but I got it quiet, I now understand. The television playing with the volume down, ignoring the traffic from the busy town. I sit on the carpet and look at the wall, not waiting around for a message or call. Flow mode, where I live and breathe, drifting through life with no need to leave. Ash falling light like the beat that I ride, just me in the clouds on the mellow side. Flow mode, where I live and breathe, drifting through life with no need to leave. Ash falling light like the beat that I ride, just me in the clouds on the mellow side. The eyes are like glass, but the view is real clean, with everything blurred, but the piece is pristine. A pen and a pad and a spark in the view, the type of a silence that speaks what is true. No waiting, no push, I just quietly drift, and treating every moment like a beautiful gift. I get back to the breeze and get back to the smoke, where every single line flows like a gentle joke. I am not really lost, I'm just moving real slow, in a headspace built for the mellow glow. The clock on the desk is just ticking away, but I'm not attached to the end of the day. Flow mode, where I live and breathe, drifting through life with no need to leave. Ash falling light like the beat that I ride, just me in the clouds on the mellow side. Flow mode, where I live and breathe, drifting through life with no need to leave. Ash falling light like the beat that I ride, just me in the clouds on the mellow side. Up the spirit staying true, yeah. Nothing else the heavy mind must do. Floating in the quiet, me and you. Watching the dust dance quietly inside the solar beam, living entirely inside a waking daytime dream, letting the heavy rotation finally slow down. Sunlight is painting the shadow right across the wooden floor, leaving the heavy boots standing by the open door. Watching the ceiling fan spinning in a lazy way, killing the schedule of another busy Friday. Coffee is getting cold inside the ceramic mug, stretching the tired legs out upon the faded rug. Hearing the neighborhood dogs barking down the distant block, ignoring the ticking hand on the rusty vintage clock. Golden illumination resting on the window pane, washing away the residue of the working strain. Nothing is urgent when the atmosphere is perfectly still, sitting alone and absorbing the quiet, subtle thrill. Checking the pockets and finding a little peace of mind, leaving the chaotic digital universe far behind. Phone is completely muted, sitting on the leather chair, breathing the warm and unapologetic summer air, tuning the frequency to a totally different space, enjoying the isolation in this comfortable place. Slow afternoon with the lazy smoke drifting high, watching the colors shifting up in the open sky. No destination and absolutely nowhere to be, just sitting right here and setting the spirit free, soaking the gentle warmth spreading through the empty room, chasing away the lingering shadows in the gloom, finding the simple bliss hiding in the silent hour, feeling the subtle return of the inner human power. Ashes are piling up inside the little glass tray, pushing the complicated thoughts and the drama away. Dust motes are floating gently inside the golden ray, having absolutely nothing that I really need to say. Hearing the engine of a neighbor slowly passing by, letting the long and uninterrupted heavy sigh. Fabric of the sofa feeling rough against the skin, knowing exactly the peaceful condition I am in. Taking another slow drag and watching the ember burn, waiting for the rotation of the planet to calmly turn. Taste of the herbal leaf resting upon the lower lip, enjoying the quietness of the solitary trip. Eyes getting heavy as the afternoon stretches out long, humming the melody of an old and forgotten song. Shadows are crawling slowly, measuring the passing time, feeling the rhythm and letting the natural elements rhyme. Building the fortress out of this ordinary day, washing the absolute last of the misery away. Slow afternoon with the lazy smoke drifting high, watching the colors shifting up in the open sky. No destination, absolutely nowhere to be, just sitting right here and setting the spirit free. Soaking the gentle warmth spreading through the empty room, chasing away the lingering shadows and the gloom. Finding the simple bliss hiding in the silent hour, feeling the subtle return of the inner human power. Just let the sunlight slowly fade to black, never feeling the sudden urge to go back. Keep the breathing steady and the vision clear. Dialing through the stations in the dark, just looking for a spark. Let the bass drop in. Cruising up the hill where the city lights glow, watching all the traffic moving steady down below. Everybody sleeping in the shadows of the night. I am just a ghost riding under yellow light, thinking about the pressure that is heavy on the mind, trying to leave the bitter and the broken things behind. Windows roll down, catching whispers in the breeze, gliding past the buildings and the quiet lonely trees. Corner signs are humming with a secret kind of sound, searching for a meaning that is nowhere to be found. Smoke is slowly rising, dissipating in the air, looking in the mirror with a solitary stare, turning down the volume on the voices in my head, leaving all the heavy spoken words completely unsaid. Dashboard clock is flashing 3 a.m. upon the screen, moving like a phantom in a cinematic scene, letting go of anchors that are holding back the soul, taking back the wheel, taking over the control. Tuning in the peace on a velvet frequency, floating on a wave, feeling absolutely free, washing off the weight that was heavy on the chest, finding homegrown vibes in a momentary rest, leaving all the static and the anger in the dust, building up a sanctuary, building up a trust. Nothing but the rhythm and the clarity of sight, blooming like a lotus in the middle of the night. Reaching for the dial, turning up the mellow bass, feeling the vibration moving slowly through the space, tasting sweet vanilla from the coffee in the cup, watching how the distant heavy fog is rolling up, fingers tapping out a steady rhythm on the wheel, focusing on nothing but the present and the real. Leather seat is cool against the jacket on my back, slipping through the shadows on an accelerated track, hearing distant trains blowing whistles in the dark, leaving just a fading solitary kind of mark. Smell of early rain that is drying on the street, everything is sinking to a solitary beat, dropping all the masks that I carry through the day, watching all the artificial colors wash away. No more chasing shadows or a fabricated prize, looking at the world with a pair of open eyes, coasting down the avenue without a place to be, just the steady engine in the universe and me. Tuning in the peace on a velvet frequency, floating on a wave, feeling absolutely free, washing off the weight that was heavy on the chest, finding homegrown vibes in a momentary rest, leaving all the static and the anger in the dust, building up a sanctuary, building up a trust. Nothing but the rhythm and the clarity of sight, blooming like a lotus in the middle of the night. Yeah, keeping the frequency, drifting through the quiet streets, nothing but the vibe. We out, just breathe. Lost the static in the brain, washing off the weekly rain, letting all the tension drop. Yeah, yeah. Rolling down the avenue without a place to be. Nothing but the yellow lights as far as I can see. Heavy pressure of the week is sitting on my chest, looking for a quiet spot to give the mind a rest. Crack the window just a bit to let the shadow in, washing off the daily dirt from underneath the skin. You sitting on the passenger side without a sound, watching all the empty tires rolling on the ground.
Flicking out the amber ash into the midnight breeze, finding out a little way to put the soul at ease. Dashboard humming like a prayer inside the quiet car, looking at the distant glow of every sleeping star. Breathing in the heavy smoke to make the vision blur. Everything outside the glass is turning to a slur, but inside the little space the feeling is so bright. Cutting through the heavy dark of the lonely night. We ain't got a single thing we really need to say, just watching all the concrete blocks slowly fade away.
A cloud of vision in the cab, a crystal in the mind, leaving all the complicated problems far behind.
Slow ignition of the spark, lighting up the space,
moving at a steady and a comfortable pace.
Violet shade
It's taking over, covering the town, never gonna let the heavy sorrow drag us down.
Cloud of vision in the cab, a crystal in the mind,
leaving all the complicated problems far behind. Street glow dancing on your face like a movie screen. Cleanest cinematic frame that I have ever seen. Static fading from the brain with every single mile. Finally finding out a way to get a genuine smile. Leather seat is holding me in a steady grip, taking all the baggage on this midnight lonely trip. You just leaning on the glass, looking at the sky, watching all the heavy clouds slowly passing by.
no drama in the mix, just the analog and kicks, finding out the magic in the very simple tricks. We ain't rushing to the end, taking it so slow, with nowhere else in the world that we wanna go. Time is stretching like elastic, bending out of shape, giving us a beautiful and quiet escape. Oh, stress knocking on the door, but it cannot win. We locked it out and threw away the heavy social sin, just riding in the bubble of the midnight blue. Nothing but the quiet road for me and for you.
Cloud of vision in the cab, a crystal in the mind, leaving all the complicated problems far behind.
Slow ignition of the spark, lighting up the space,
moving at a steady and a comfortable pace.
Violet shade is taking over, covering the town, never gonna let the heavy sorrow drag us down.
Cloud of vision in the cab, a crystal in the mind, leaving all the complicated problems far behind.
Crystal clear inside the brain, rolling through the quiet lane, never going back again.
Yeah. Just feeling the smooth rotation, no need for any complicated explanation. We got everything we truly need right here. Rolling through the city with the regular familiar team, living out the pieces of a very simple midnight dream. Nobody's rushing to a crowded and chaotic place, finding our own rhythm in a total empty space. Street lights flickering across the dusty neighborhood, knowing deep inside that the energy is purely good. Ain't got no schedule and we certainly ain't got a plan, just a couple brothers acting like a solid honest man. No cameras flashing and there's absolutely no display, washing all the fake and heavy plastic attitudes away, passing around the bottle with the slightly faded label, putting all our honesty right across the wooden table, talking about the future without any kind of heavy dread, clearing out the static, buzzing softly in the weary head. We don't need a massive stage to make a little bit of noise, just a quiet corner for the genuinely real boys. Every single struggle slowly fading out of sight, embracing the perfection of this totally ordinary night. Yeah, we absolutely good right now. now. No need to figure out the why or the how. Just sitting in the pocket with the steady crew. Underneath the canvas of the midnight blue. Ain't chasing after nothing that we do not own. Building up a kingdom from a single skipping stone. Every heavy burden is already left behind. Enjoying the condition of a perfectly quiet mind. Yeah. Engine cooling down by the side of the narrow road. Dropping every ounce of the unnecessary daily load. Tapping on the rhythm on the roof of the beating car. Looking for a direction from a single falling star. Nobody is competing for the center of attention here. Drinking from the fountain of an atmosphere totally clear. Laughing at the memories of the crazy things we used to do. Sticking with the people who were genuinely real and true. We seen a lot of faces completely change up in the light, but we kept the vision totally steady and incredibly bright. Smoke is rising, slowly disappearing in the dark, leaving nothing but a very temporary little mark. Don't need a heavy pocket just to feel incredibly rich. Skipping over every single hidden and malicious ditch. Just breathing in the freedom of this easy-going pace. Running our own marathon and totally winning the race. Ain't nobody worried about the coming of tomorrow's sun, 'cause the healing process has already truly begun. Yeah, we absolutely good right now. No need to figure out the why or the how. Just sitting in the pocket with the steady crew. Underneath the canvas of the midnight blue. Ain't chasing after nothing that we do not own. Building up a kingdom from a single skipping stone. Every heavy burden is already left behind. Enjoying the condition of a perfectly quiet mind. Yeah, we just gonna keep it right here. No need to move a single heavy gear. Keep the circle tight and the vision wide. Enjoying every minute of this easy ride. Stay safe until the morning slowly breaks. Walking through the heavy yellow light, swallowed by the belly of the night, keeping all the broken pieces tight. Yeah. Level 4 is empty in the parking lot, standing in a totally forgotten spot. Tire marks are painted on the dusty floor, not looking for the drama anymore. The concrete is a heavy kind of gray, washing all the daily noise away. Echo of my sneakers bouncing off the wall, answering to absolutely no call. Sodium is buzzing in a steady hum, waiting for the better days to come. I am just a shadow on the lower deck, nothing complicated, I gotta check. Breathing in the exhaust and the chill, keeping every heavy muscle still. The anonymity is running deep, while the heavy city is asleep. Walking through the velvet of the dark, leaving out a solitary mark. I'm a ghost inside the concrete maze, counting all the lonely passing days. Walking through the velvet of the dark, leaving out a solitary mark. I'm a ghost inside the concrete maze, counting all the lonely passing days. Yeah. Rusted pipe is dripping in the corner space, moving at a universally slow pace. I don't have a schedule or a proper name, hiding from the middle of the social game. Vaporizing slowly from the quiet breath, far away from any kind of sudden death. Looking at the spiral of the driving ramp, standing by the flicker of the broken lamp. The isolation is a heavy kind of shield, making all the superficial worries yield. Pillars stretching outward in an endless road, with nowhere in the county I gotta go. The silence is a heavy kind of gold. Stories of the underground are never told. Living in a pocket out of sight, comfortable walking in the night. Walking through the velvet of the dark, leaving out a solitary mark. I'm a ghost inside the concrete maze, counting all the lonely passing days. Walking through the velvet of the dark, leaving out a solitary mark. I'm a ghost inside the concrete maze, counting all the lonely passing days. Fading in the shadow of the grave, Nothing left for anybody to say, washing all the silhouette away. Yeah. City dreaming in the shades of gray, washing all the artificial light away. Listen to the cracks. Oh. Rolling past the corners where the shadows like to blend, looking at the avenues that do not seem to end. Storefronts sleeping heavy behind the metal grate, waiting for the morning to determine what is their fate. Echoes bouncing softly off the dirty brick and stone. In the sleeping metropolis I finally feel alone. Tired of the screaming from the faces on the screen, tired of the actors in a fabricated scene. Every single channel selling panic for a dime. I am just out here cruising, trying to take my precious time. Dashboard glowing softly with a steady amber hue, reflecting on the windshield in the middle of the dew. Passing by the places where the broken promises lay, watching how the early wind is blowing them away. No more chasing shadows in a labyrinth of lies, looking at the concrete with a pair of open eyes. Feeling every bump upon this isolated track, never moving forward if you always looking back. Listen to the whispers that the quiet streets provide, leaving all the heavy bitter energy outside. Breathing in the stillness, floating softly in the air, finding out the answers when there is absolutely nobody there. Dropping all the armor that I carry through the day, watching all the complicated colors wash away. Nothing but the rhythm and the clarity of sight. Blooming like a lotus in the middle of the night. Tires making contact softly, humming on the street, syncing every movement to a solitary beat. Jacket feeling heavy with the secrets that it holds, watching how the early morning mystery unfolds. Smoke is rising slowly, dissipating in the chill, looking at the skyline from the bottom of the hill, hearing distant sirens crying somewhere in the dark, leaving nothing behind except a solitary mark. Puddles on the ground reflecting neon out of place, moving to a very slow and isolated pace, cutting through the static that is clouding up the mind, leaving all the superficial arguments behind. No more complicated theories spinning in the head, focusing on everything the silence never says, steering through the fog that is rolling off the bay, finding pure serenity before the break of day. Just a single rider on an undiscovered route, learning how to navigate without a single doubt. Listen to the whispers that the quiet streets provide, listening to the whispers, leaving all the heavy bitter energy outside, breathing in energy outside. The stillness floating softly in the air, floating softly in the air, finding out the answers when there is absolutely nobody there. Dropping all the armor that I carry through the day, watching all the complicated colors wash away. Nothing but the rhythm and the clarity of sight. Blooming like a lotus in the middle of the night. The pavement knows the truth, just gotta read the signs. Stay slow. Dialing past the broken frequency, just looking for the right energy. Let it ride. Shadows moving slowly on the bedroom wall, waiting for a distant and forgotten call. Wires getting tangled in the messy room, hiding in the corner of this quiet gloom. Coffee mug is sitting on a wooden desk, feeling like my spirit is put to the test. Looking through the window at the empty street, syncing up my breathing to the melody. Words I never mentioned spinning in the brain, washing down the driveway like the autumn rain. Neon signs are buzzing with a faulty spark, leaving little flashes in the silent dark. Tired of the questions floating in the air, wondering if anybody really cares. Ashtray getting fuller by the glowing screen, living like a phantom in a movie scene, trying to decode the message in the sound, waiting for the moment that I touch the ground. Breaking through the static just to find the light, pushing out the shadows of a lonely night. Every little storm is just a passing phase, walking out the tunnel in a mental maze. Broken lines connecting in a brand new way, chasing all the bitter memories away. Feeling truly present when the noise is gone, ready for the coming of the quiet dawn. Yeah. Fingers gently brushing on the radio, watching how the amber numbers faintly glow. Jacket draped across the vintage leather chair, catching the aroma of the midnight air. Tires rolling smoothly on the avenue, painting up the canvas with a different hue. Silence starting finally to gently speak, giving me the answers that I always seek. Nothing but the bass line moving through the floor, opening the handle of a locked up door, dropping off the baggage that I used to hold. Stepping from the winter and the bitter cold, matches striking fire in the sudden chill. Looking at the houses on the sleeping hill, every single failure was a hidden guide, showing me the universe I have inside. Taking in the oxygen so deep and slow, letting all the artificial pressure go. Breaking through the static just to find the light, pushing out the shadows of the lonely night. Every little storm is just a passing phase, walking out the tunnel and the mental maze. Broken lines connecting in a brand new way, chasing all the bitter memories away. Feeling truly present when the noise is gone, ready for the coming of the quiet dawn. Yeah. The signal is loud and true, nothing left to misconstrue. I am gone. Silver sphere is rising in the sky, watching all the toxic shadows die, feeling all the heavy gravity. Looking at the crater on the moon, knowing that the shift is coming soon. We parked the heavy engine on the crest, giving both our weary souls a rest. You told me about the office you resigned, leaving all the corporate games behind. Standing in your living room alone, listening to the dial on the phone. Walking from the damage of the past, knowing that the sorrow couldn't last. The lunar light is breaking through the tree, showing you exactly who to be. We sipping on a beverage in the dark, finding out a newly lit up spark. The vapor rising up in amethyst, something that the universe had kissed. No filter on the sentences we speak, finding all the clarity we seek. Full moon pulling on the ocean tide, nowhere for the heavy truth to hide. Everything is coming into view, showing me a better side of you. We cutting out the poison from the root, eating from a different kind of fruit. The silver glow is washing out the fake, leaving just the promises we make. The radio is playing something slow, illuminated by the cosmic glow. You threw away the numbers from your phone, deciding you can make it on your own. It's crazy how the planet's spinning around, can elevate a spirit from the ground. We tracing out the orbit in the air, without a single heavy social care. The honesty is sharper than a knife, cutting through the fabric of the life. I see the sudden sparkle in your stare, reflecting all the magic floating there. The altitude is perfectly aligned to elevate the frequency of mine. We shedding all the layers of the grief, finding an undeniable relief. The midnight is a deeply healing space, restoring all the beauty to the face. Full moon pulling on the ocean tide, nowhere for the heavy truth to hide. Everything is coming into view, showing me a better side of you. We cutting out the poison from the root, eating from a different kind of fruit. The silver glow is washing out the fake, leaving just the promises we made. Yeah. Let the silver light embrace the hill, keep the roaring motors sitting still, washing off the burden of the light. Rolling the tension out into the quiet street, finding a perfectly calm and steady heartbeat. Steering the heavy wheel through the totally empty lane, washing the tire mind from the complicated rain. World is totally sleeping and the atmosphere is clear, dropping every ounce of the unnecessary fear. Dashboard is glowing softly with the gentle orange hue, taking the moment to completely reset the view. Some people always talking, trying to pull me in the mess, adding totally heavy and completely useless stress. But I just keep the windows rolled totally down low, following the natural and the incredibly easy flow. Ain't answering the messages flashing on the screen, navigating peacefully right through the midnight scene. Used to fight the heavy battles that I truly could not win. Now I totally recognize exactly the state I am in. Taking a deep breath and letting the shoulders drop, making all the complicated mental spinning stop. Just completely absorbing the silence of the night, getting my own vision completely focused and bright. And one more turn, and I am feeling incredibly free, smoking the quiet air, and I'm exactly where I should be. One more turn, and the heavy weight is totally thin, letting a very small and peaceful moment begin. No rushing, absolutely no chaotic chase, just completely rolling through a totally empty space. One more turn, and I just let the heavy problems go, finding exactly what I truly and deeply need to know. Passing the old diner with the flickering neon sign, untangling the totally complicated heavy line. The engine is humming a totally gentle and soft tune, cruising alone underneath the totally pale moon. I've seen a lot of people totally crash and burn out, caught in the heavy weather, totally toxic out, because they never took a completely quiet minute to breathe, allowing all the heavy and the hidden anger to seethe. You gotta learn exactly how to completely disconnect, giving your own spirit some incredibly deep respect. The street lights are passing, casting a gentle yellow glow, everything around me moving incredibly calm and slow. I do not need a completely massive and grand escape, just a little quiet time to totally fix the shape, letting the heavy rotation perfectly do its thing, listening to the totally silent song the night can sing. It is a simple, totally effective midnight cure, making the heavy and the weary spirit totally pure. One more turn, and I am feeling incredibly free, smoking the quiet air, and I'm exactly where I should be. One more turn, and the heavy weight gets totally thin, letting a very small and peaceful moment begin. No rushing, absolutely no chaotic chase, just completely rolling through a totally empty space. One more turn, and I just let the heavy problems go, finding exactly what I truly and deeply need to know. Keep the rotation steady and incredibly slow, watching the quiet and the peaceful energy grow. Catch you totally when the morning starts to show.